Infinity Diamonds. You know, it was 4 years ago that we started the Tyler Foundation. It was 4 years ago that we lost my son Tyler to cancer, to leukemia, after spending 2 years in the hospital just before his second birthday in 2005. And it was just about exactly 4 years ago that I stood on this very stage in the Hyatt. And I told you about some of the issues about kids being in the hospital for a long time fighting cancer in Japan. I told you about how, first of all, kids are hospitalized for a long time in Japan, for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, in our case for 2 years. And I also told you about how the kids live a very kind of passive existence in the hospital. Very little control over what they do every day. Someone is always telling them, take this medicine, do this yucky chemotherapy, have this surgery, eat this food, eat this hospital food, not the food you want. No, you can't see your brothers and sisters because they're under 12 years old and they're not allowed in the hospital ward. I explained all of these things to you 4 years ago. And so what have we done about it? The first thing we did, I introduced Satomi Funaki before, our clinical psychologist. We put a clinical psychologist in the cancer ward of a hospital in Japan. No one else had done that before. And we started the Shine On Counseling and Support Program. We've touched the lives now of hundreds of children since we started this program 4 years ago. And something else important we learned is, yeah, the kids are bored in the hospital for a long time, but also it's really important to empower them, to allow them to create their lives in the hospital. So we have activities like a Shine On Arts Festival, where kids make their own art, and we have like an art gallery display. Shine On Music Festival, kids make their own music and have a concert. We have weekly events, Shine On Book Club, where kids make their own books. Some of you have ASIJ parents. If you have high school kids, maybe they're volunteering for the Shine On English Club that we organize. Thank you very much. Go and see our photos of these activities outside, because that really tells you what it's about. We have a whole programs corner outside. After dinner, after everything, please go and take a look, and you can actually see pictures of what we're doing inside the hospital. 4 years ago, I also told you that there are issues with parents. It's stressful. It's very scary not knowing what's happening to your child. And also, it's very isolating for parents dealing with going to the hospital every day, balancing their home life with their healthy kids and their kids in the hospital. So what did we do about it? We have our counselors doing bedside counseling, organizing mothers groups, organizing education seminars. This is a result of what the parents have asked us. They want to learn more about their children's diseases so they can better support them. Again, we've helped touched hundreds of families. We are with families from the moment they enter the hospital, through their treatment till the day they're discharged, and follow up even after they return home and go back to school. The idea is that if we empower families, we support the families, we empower and support the children. Last year, I told you that we were going to open up our Shine On House. This year, in April 2009, we opened up our Shine On House. It is a complete family support facility for kids with cancer and their families. We have emergency accommodation. And why is this important? It's important because we're flexible. If someone's child goes into the ICU at 12 midnight, they can call us up and say, oh my gosh, we need somewhere to stay tonight. We can have that kind of flexibility because it's our house. We have a safe and secure play space for kids. We have a relaxation space for parents. We have daily child care for siblings of cancer patients. And we have a space to do events. Again, events that are created and suggested by the parents and their children. Events that we could never do in the hospital, but because it's our house, we can do them. Right now, we're having weekly, ice cream parties. We're having pancake making parties where kids from the hospital can get a day pass, come to the Shine On House, and do something that is absolutely normal. a little miracle for 5 minutes in their day. It is unbelievable how the incredible use we find in the Shana House just from April. I encourage you all to come and visit it. Miss Universe Japan was there earlier in the month for one of our events, and thanks to RBS and Gary Hyman and his good folks, we had F1 race car driver, I should say, Nakajima was there just this Tuesday at our Shine On House making race cars with the kids and having races. Please contact us. Please go and see, because seeing is believing. Last year, thank you. Last year, I told you we were going to bring a fantastic program from America called Beads of Courage. And this program is in over 35 hospitals all over America. It's also in New Zealand. Tyler Foundation became the sole owner of the program in Japan. This is a very simple, extremely powerful program. Children get a bead for every aspect of their cancer treatment. Every dose of chemotherapy, every dose of radiation. They lose their hair, they get a special hair bead. If they have surgery, they get a special bead. And by the end of their treatment, they have a string of beads that is a visual representation of the journey of courage they have taken. This summer, I visited 4 hospitals that had this program in the States, and I saw one child who had 800 beads on a string. Now, let me tell you, when these kids get better, and this is a very important point for me to make tonight, because this is 2009, and the reality is that the majority of kids with cancer do get better. And when these kids get better and they take their beads, they can show their families, they can show their friends at school, they can show their brothers and sisters and say, yeah, I know I lost my hair, but this is what I've been doing for the past year. This is what I survived. These are my beads of courage. They're outside. Go take a look at them. Simple and incredibly powerful. And it's the Tyler Foundation that brought us here in three hospitals so far this year, and more to come. Now, tonight, all the woofing and arfing and dog songs and bow wows. We're here to tell you about another program the Tyler Foundation is starting, another never-before-in-Japan event that you are here to share with us as we introduce it for the first time. This is going to be the first full-time animal-assisted therapy dog program in Japan. Now, you're going to say, but Kim, surely they have therapy dogs in Japan. And I will say, well, yeah, they do, but not the kind of therapy dog programs that we have in mind. There are therapy dogs that are kind of pets, and they do go and visit hospitals, say, once a month or something. But what we have in mind is a full-time program, and I promise you, you have not seen anything like this in Japan. Let's take a look at the video right now. I met Tucker 2 years ago at Kapiolani, and for the 2 years, I've been thinking, how do we get Tucker in Japan? You know, the first time I met Tucker, I had just met him and started petting him, and a little girl just ran right up and she said, oh, Tucker, I've missed you so much. It's so good to see you. And she gave him a big hug and a kiss. And she started talking to me, and she said, you know, Tucker is the reason I got better. And she said, you know, I'm fine now. I'm just here for a checkup. But 8 months ago, I was in the hospital for a long time here, and I was in the ICU, and every day for 3 weeks, Tucker came on the bed in the ICU and sat with me for 10 minutes. I couldn't even move to touch him or pet him, but I could just feel him next to me, and I started looking forward to seeing him every day, and that's what gave me the courage to fight and get better. And I said, oh my God, we've got to get Tucker. And I said to the hospital, we need Tucker. They said, actually, we can't give you Tucker. I said, okay, I buy that. And I said, okay, well, where did you get Tucker? And they said, Hawaii Canines for Independence. We went to Hawaii Canines for Independence. We are going to have Bailey. From the end of this year, we are going to have a 2-year-old golden retriever named Bailey, who went through the same rigorous training as Tucker, was trained from a puppy of 7 weeks, handpicked to be able to deal with the incredible stressful environment of being in a hospital, of being with kids. And you're saying, Kim, couldn't you get a dog in Japan? Actually, No, is the answer. There simply isn't a system for training dogs from puppies to be therapy dogs like there are overseas. And maybe that'll be next year's fundraiser. But for now, we are absolutely thrilled that we were able to cooperate with Hawaii Canines for Independence, bring Bailey over here to start the first therapy dog program in Japan full-time. We have a nurse handler who's going to the United States to be trained, and we're running the whole program as a research program. So just like you saw in the video, we can verify that Bailey is not only making kids happier, but improving their treatment outcomes, improving their approach to treatment, and helping the kids, the parents, the medical staff, helping everybody, like all of our programs, to shine on during treatment and after treatment once they go home and they get better. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for supporting another groundbreaking program in Japan for the Tyler Foundation.